welcome to the video. This week we finally got to bring the bus back onto the property and park it in its new home, the giant bus port that's built just over there. It's a huge step for us because it means that the bus will be so close for as we're planning and if we need to do any measurements or anything, but also it means that it's not in a forested area anymore, so we can pop the windows out and not be worried about things getting in. It just means that we'll really be able to move forward on the bus over the coming weeks. It was really exciting. We had been waiting for months to be able to bring the bus back, so it was kind of a momentous day for us. And luckily we were able to get the bus back on the property and cleaned up before heading down to Melbourne, although Greg and I are really hoping to be busing and traveling and adventuring full-time in the near future. Unfortunately right now we are still working other jobs to help fund our adventures. So we did have some meetings down in Melbourne for this other job, but luckily we got to bring you guys along and show you a little sneak peek of the city as well as the gorgeous view we had from the hotel. Melbourne is such a beautiful place, such a cultural hub, and I'm really hoping to be able to tour you guys around for a few days in the near future. We have a few more meetings coming up, so hopefully we'll be able to take you down for that and show you around. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram. Bye! I don't have my license to drive the bus yet, so Greg had to tackle driving up the driveway for the first time. We are worried about the front or the back scraping as they can be relatively low. Luckily, the bus is equipped with a kneeling device, which allowed the front of the bus to be raised or lowered and gave us the clearance that we needed. Once she was up the driveway and parked in a new home, I hopped up the ladder and started scrubbing the roof. Greg and Maddie did a great job supervising below. And then worked away on scrubbing the sides and getting the windows as clean as we could. A few weeks ago, Greg and I tackled cleaning the plane, but compared to the plane, this bus took so much longer than we expected. I have dirt on my face. Good morning! We have spent the morning cleaning Wilma! So we brought her back and she fits perfectly in her new home, and now it's just a matter of cleaning her up so that we can start doing the exterior stuff that we need to do. So for Wilma, the plan is to actually take out all the windows and take off all the sheeting so that we can replace the windows with operable ones, and we can replace the sheeting and just make sure that everything is new and good quality, and just get her ready to go. So once we can get the exterior off and resheeted, new windows and everything, then we can start building her up again. But for now, our goal is just to clean her. She is absolutely gross. After like 6 months of sitting in a forested area, she's a little dirty. Kind of gross. The front is still in need of some cleaning for sure. But you know, we're getting there. Look at this one. I was up on the roof earlier and it's actually stronger than I thought it would be. You can actually see the beams that are in the roof. There's 3 beams down the middle, so I tried to stay around there. The rest of the roof is still really sturdy. You could feel the top kind of flexing here and there, but I didn't fall through, so that's always ideal. And Maddie was out here with us today. She was joining the fun, got a little wet, drank a little water. Oh look, there's Maddie and Greg. Hi. So today we are on our way to Melbourne, so we get to drop this lovely little puppers off at the puppy resort. And we're just getting into the
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Just getting into the long-term parking because we're going to be in Melbourne for the next few days. I haven't been back to the airport since I came to Brisbane in the first place, so it's nice to be back. We landed in Melbourne safely, got to see a glimpse of the city, and then the weather had other plans. Literally, in Melbourne for less than half an hour, it's raining. Seriously? Seriously, Melbourne? People say that in Melbourne you can get every season in one day, and this is just proof of that. It was like beautiful, like 5 minutes ago. The hotel had a gorgeous view looking out over Port Phillip Bay, which we didn't really get to appreciate until we got back the following afternoon. Wow, this place is awesome! So after a long day of meetings and stuff, we're just hanging out. We're about to go get some coffee, but I wanted to show you guys the view we have tonight. So last night we got into this hotel and it was gorgeous, but a little rainy. We asked if they had any great views of the city. They said that this room was booked last night, but they moved us into it tonight. And so yeah, this is what we get to wake up to tomorrow. So I was in Melbourne about 6 months ago. I was here for 2 weeks and stayed in a hostel, an awesome hostel, and just kind of toured the city as a backpacking tourist. It's really interesting to see it from a different perspective, seeing it on the other side of the bay and driving into the city, not just being a pedestrian walking around, and even just seeing the business side of it and doing some actual work here. So it's been a really nice visit so far. We leave tomorrow morning. We're gonna be going to the restaurant downstairs for dinner and hopefully it's some good food. I think it's a seafood restaurant, but hopefully I can find something that's good. Until then, see you next time. Dinner was great, but the next morning I had to delay Greg's coffee by a few extra minutes so I could walk down to the pier. Being by the water, the boats, the ocean smell, it reminded me of being back in Canada on the East Coast. Always so good. The sun wasn't the only one who came out to play this afternoon. Melbourne has a ton of little parks scattered throughout the city. It's always nice to get a touch of nature in your day, surrounded by trees and puppies and cute gazebos. It made for a really nice walk back to the cafe from this morning. So we are on our way to get some coffee or something warm. Melbourne, unlike Brisbane, is a little chilly. I'm comparing it to like Canadian fall day. It's a little chilly out. You can wear a light jacket, a sweater. Feels brisk and refreshing, but never too chilly. But for a regular Queenslander like Greg, it's a little cold. So we're gonna warm up a bit. The ladies from the cafe had mentioned that they would be getting a delivery mid-afternoon of a whole bunch of new and delicious treats, so we just had to go check them out, but we were shocked by the variety. They're cute. They are nice. And of course, we had to try a few. Although a little quaint compared to the bustling city across the water, this area of Melbourne proved to be a little piece of paradise. And with that, the sun set on our last day in Melbourne, and we packed our bags and got ready to fly back to Brisbane the next morning. After breakfast, we made our way to the airport for our 12:10 flight. Luckily, the airport was nice and quiet, and we were about an hour early. I entertained myself with puzzles and Sudoku while Greg checked out the planes. Then we boarded, and we're on our way in no time. The 2.5-hour trip from Melbourne is the perfect length for a movie, and the flight was nice and smooth. It always amazes me seeing the world from above. I can't wait to paramotor. After landing, we picked up Maddie and called it a day.